heard they changed the new player login experience. So I thought I'd do a live stream to take you through the new player character creation and the initial steps when you're in Shroud of the Avatar, and kind of see for myself what has changed. And also we're going to possibly give you some kind of startup tips in case you're playing this game for the first time or you're thinking about playing this game. So that's what we're going to do with that. We're going to play online. Let's get going. Or let's get ready to rumble, for those of you that are old enough to know that reference. So we come here to the first thing. Now before, whenever you did this, you were just kind of a ghosty and you had to go find a mirror. So this is a change. So we're going to go ahead and create a new character. I guess there's no hiding this one, is there? And then I'm a guy. I like playing a guy sometimes. Sometimes I play female characters. I usually get made fun of by my wife for that, but you know how it goes. And I always make my guys big. I don't know. Maybe because I'm not that big. I'm the runt of my family, which is kind of sad when you've got 3 sisters. So anyway, we've got a name. Then we'll go to the second tab and we'll check out the eyeballs here and the hair color. Let's be a redhead. Why not? You can go through different hairstyles, not into mohawks, that just looks silly. Yeah, that one's not bad. Let's see what kind of facial hair they've got available. They got a full-size goatee, not that full-sized. Okay, there we go. That one will work just fine with the Van Dyke. Alright, and on to the eyeballs. Since I'm a green-eyed fella, we're going to go with green, and then you got all kinds of spacing things. We'll just make him look a little gaunt and goofy. There you go, he's a little bug-eyed fellow now. Moving on to the nose. Going to be skinny nose. Wide bridge. Been broken a few times. Plenty you can do as far as the different types of, okay there, a little button, etc. Alright, bored with the nose. Moving on. Cheekbones high. Yeah. Cheek fullness, nope. Cheekbone protrusion, why not? And the reality is that once you get your character created, you're really not going to spend a lot of time looking at your face. Alright, jaw plane roundness. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, you get a little double chin or not. Okay. Oh hell, I didn't know I had a man bun. That's not going to work. Not into that. Sure enough, says bun. Pay attention, dum-dum. Sigh. Good thing I looked at the back of that. Well, I wish they had more hair choices. Yep. Looks like braids it is. And I think I remember that when I created my first character. That's kind of where we ended up, just because the front of it was the only thing that I liked the look of. But we are not doing a man bone. Excuse me, man bun. Alright. Top lip thickness. Bottom lip thickness. See if that really matters. It does, actually. Yeah, it's that little skinny mouth. Alright, what's the last option? Okay, we've been here. Alright, so now we've got a character, we've got a name, and we're moving on to the next one. Are you sure you're done? Yes, we are. Well, that loads up. This will be the same character that we take through the love quest a little later. Now, one of the changes is they used to give you a choice of where you started, and they've changed it to where I think everybody now starts in Soul Town. There are 3 different legs of the quest that you can do. You only have to do one of them to get your Rolot deed. And if I've got time this morning. Alright, they're starting out with instructions. ASD, and that's how you move. No big trouble. They got current task is shown here. And we did the moving. So apparently there's no... Alright. Now, if you're a new player and you've never played this game before, one of the things I would suggest that you do is immediately find your options. You can hit it by escape. Up top right, there is character sheets. And really just explore your user interface or your UI. And then here we've got several rewards, inventory, character sheet. This is all your shortcuts. Like if you want skills, you hit K. So we'll hit K, and there's your skill panel. But if you've not got a lot of experience gaming, always do your user interface first. It can save you a lot of aggravation trying to learn. Kind of an RFD thing. Okay, that was a bug form. Opens the bug website. Here's a crown shop. Things for sale. Well, alright, I got a few things on sale, a big old list of stuff, several hundred items available for you to purchase. We're not really focusing on that right now, but there's your crown shop right there handy. Alright, so I got a login reward, and it is experience and an obsidian potion. Now they're doing a thing now where every month you're going to get login rewards. It'll be something. Last month it was a little miniature greyhound and a house upgrade for when you first get a row house. Gave you a 3-story instead of a 2. So in this scenario, because I know what I'm trying to accomplish, you can see that I started out with 35,000 XP. Now this is on my adventuring side. You've got 2 different XP pools when you create a new character. You've got crafting and you've got adventuring. Now we're going to see if this potion works here. We're going to double click it, put it in our bag. And then we're going to come over here to inventory. This is what you start with. You got a High Veil Defender sword, 400 arrows, a simple staff, and then login rewards right here. Let's open that up. And there's an obsidian potion of guidance. You can also see right here that now I've got 285,000 crafting, or not crafting, but adventuring XP. That, however, does not relate to crafting, although I really wish it would have. Okay, so we're going to take a look and see what we're equipped with. Currently we have a Bridge Defender's bow, cotton boots, cotton cloth, leggings, chest armor, space bar to jump. Brief list of what to do is on the left side of your screen. Current task, we want to escape from the Battle of Solace Bridge. But my wife has arrived, so we're going to have to cut this one short for now, and we'll be back a little later. Alright folks, welcome back. This morning we are going through the new character creation. There's been a lot of changes since I went through this. So Indira, my friend, and I were very curious. We have created brand new characters, and you've already seen me go through the facial stuff and picking what your character looks like, etc. Now we've landed at the Battle of Solace Bridge, and before we go adventuring around, we're going to kind of show you some of these combat things and glyphs. As you can see, there's healing touch and light on what is known as your utility bar. So the next thing we'll do is hit the combat button, and you can see that we are set up for an archery build. As we hit the C button, you can see that we've got a Bridge Defender's bow and some armor equipped, and that's about the size of things. So I'm going to let Indira step in here and kind of narrate as we go through these skills so you can get an idea of what it is you're looking at and what you need to be looking for.
Okay. Down the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you're going to notice that you're going to be getting messages from the system. And there are different tabs there. I don't have glasses on that can actually read those, but Kaizen's going to be clicking on different ones. So that's going to pop up or down depending on how you have it set. Then moving straight up, you'll see that that is yourself up in the top left-hand corner. And let's move across. In the middle on the top, you'll see a compass that will be invaluable to you as we run around in this game. And then in the top right hand, if we put the cursor over each one of those things, when you click on those things, you can get different information about your game. And then if we move down, you'll see on the right-hand side these little teeny glyphs. What those are telling you what glyphs you have training. And this game is all about, as you advance and you get better, you have skills. And now we're going to hit the K button. So the K button brings up what your skills actually are, and you'll see there's two different tabs. One is your adventuring skills, and the other one is your crafting skills. And we're going to focus on your adventuring skills to start off with. So you will notice, as Kaizen has pointed out, in the bottom of your screen in the middle is what Kaizen calls the peace bar. So these are things that you do while you're running around, not in combat mode. And there are 10 slots on it. It works like a normal hotkey that you can actually click on them, or you can actually press the corresponding number button on your keyboard to get them to do whatever their action is. So on your adventuring, you'll see we have 3 different types of skills. There's combat skills, there's magic skills, and then there is strategy skills. So everything you do in this game is a combination of those 3 things. And right now Kaizen has it on blades, for example, and I think we're going to switch that to ranged, only because your character defaults. We've noticed that if Kaizen were to press the Z key right now, which puts his character into combat, that what he has brought up is an automatic ranged weaponry. So ranged involves not only the ranged skills that we're looking at, but it also involves light armor. So if we press the light armor, light, So you're also wearing light armor right now at the same time. So we're really going to focus on these 2 things just to start off with, because this is what the character defaults to. And I think that's about it. But if we go now, if you'll notice, if you'll notice, on your combat bar, starting from the number 1 slot, there are some defaults that are in there automatically. And if we flip that to your K to range now, Kaizen, from light armor. So you can see the glyphs as they correspond. So the number 1 slot has aim shot in it, defaulting. Number 2 slot has disabling shot. The number 3 slot actually now has, I believe, tactic, or that's from the strategy, is it not?
It's a light armor. It's dodge.
Oh, is it light armor? Okay. And the number 4 slot, which I can't see because it's covered up, is dash. So now if that's coming from what's called a magic. So if we go now to the magic one, and we'll go to air, that's coming in from the default from magic. So all of these things are defaulted automatically for you, and it's all going to make a lot more sense down the road. But just for sake of expediency, since we've been here before, we're just going to get the bars set up, if you choose to use the same type of bars right now, so that we can get training these skills, because skill training is a much importance in this game.
All right, and I'm going to interject here, and I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting to this bar. I'm going to add some of the skills that are available to you as a default, but are not on your bar, just because there's no sense in having any empty slots here, whether you use them all the time or not. It's a good idea to have them available to you in case you need them. So also, if we hop over to the tactics that Indira has mentioned prior, you can see that you've also got 4 skills available to you there. One's an innate, two's an innate. You've got a reckless stance and a parry. So we're going to go ahead and pull both of those into the bar. And we're also going to see what kind of healing skills we've got. We've got Purify available to us as well. So as you can see there, I have now added a few skills to my bar. They should all be locked in place. And now we can add Gust, which is going to throw mobs back. We've added Escape, and we've added Parry, and we've added Purify to give us a nice even 10 as far as that goes. Stepping back over into your default equipment, we don't have anything available yet, but we'll be adding some things. And as we do, like we'll be getting some potions and things off of mobs, we'll add those to the utility bar, which, as Indira mentioned, I like to call the peace bar, because you use it when you're not in combat. So I'll turn it back over to Indira, and I think we're ready to start doing a little adventure.
Yes, if you could just bring the K, press the K button one more time. And let's go to ranged. We'll go to ranged. So one thing that we do need to notice is there are things that you can train and things that you can't train. So things that you can train are in red there. You'll see in the ranged. Now the things that are in gray are called innate skills, and you have no control over those trainings. That they train automatically depending on what skills you are using. That's all I have to say about that. So I think that's confusing enough for everyone at the moment. So let's get going and have a little fun. So the first thing you'll notice is the language here is runic. And if we come to this first sign, it's in runic, but if you hover your cursor over it, it'll tell you what it actually says. So it's welcoming us to Solace Bridge. Now the other button that's invaluable to you is the M key. So if we press M, we're going to get a map that will help us navigate around where we need to go. And then one last thing, take a look at the left-hand top part of your screen, and you'll see some words in yellow. There we go. You can see where you are by the little red arrow there on the map. Now the words in yellow are a little reminder of what task you're currently trying to do. So when you are questing in this game, many people don't bother to quest whatsoever, but in this beginning part of the game we have no choice, but we need to be on a quest. So these quests, this book is your journal, and it tells you what quest you're currently on. And aside from clicking on that quest, the other way that you bring it up is by pressing the B key. Bravo.
It's actually J is in journal. Breathe.
Oh, J is in journal. Sorry, B is crafting. My bad. I forgot. All right, so away we go. WASD key, standard gaming key. W forward, S backwards, right and left, and space bar to jump. Yeah.
Man, who killed a horse?
I know, that's sad. So like many games, if you hover your cursor over the graphic, it will indicate to you whether or not you can interact with whatever is on the ground. So let's, oh, you're getting ahead of me, so so if we hover our cursor over some of these things that are on the ground, you'll see that your cursor changes color. You can either double click on it or you can press the E key to interact with it. And it may or may not give you rewards. So in this case, we got a little bit of gold and some quartz wax. Gold is useful for buying things from merchants, and the quartz wax is used in magic, which we will get into a little bit later. So in the beginning, we really want to try and collect as much things as we can because you really don't know what you're going to need and what you're not going to need. So we'll continue along the road. And then over the bridge, we can see our progress on the map. If you hover your cursor over the map, it will go from being opaque back to being so you can actually read what the map says.
Now, right here on the bridge, I've found a corpse that contains some poison potion. So with that poison potion, I've only got one, so I'm going to have to use it sparingly. But by simply taking the poison potion and dragging it down into the utility bar, or the peace bar, then I now have access to poison my weapon at any given time, which I can continue to do as long as I have poison potions. So moving on down the road.
And can we actually poison our weapons at this stage? Don't we have to
You
train
can.
that up?
You do not need the skill, but you can make it happen. It just doesn't hurt much.
Oh, okay. I was unaware of that.
Ah, we've got a new mission.
Yes. So if we notice the middle of your screen, you sort of want to keep an eye on the middle of your screen because it'll give you hints and tips and tricks on those types of things. And it's also glaringly flashing a door at us, telling us we should click on that door.
And if those 2 points did not get it across to you, look over to your journal, and it tells you, open the door to the burning house. We've also added search the building. Now you'll notice this one turning green, open door to the burning house, and it fades away, which means you have completed that quest.
Again, very helpful. It's flashing in color for you to let you know that you need to look there. Oh, and we have a letter. So open up our inventory by pressing I. We can read the letter.
To whomever finds this, all the guards have been killed when the undead attacked our town. I am no fighter. I know I cannot hold them off. I sent Abigail ahead to Soul Town while I look for Charlotte. I hope I can find her before the worst happens.
Oh no! Da da da.
All right. Now you'll notice up here that the new mission that we got, Search the Building, has not gone away yet. Now here's a little handy tip on your questing efforts. And a lot of folks, they miss this and it causes them a lot of grief and frustration. We don't want that to happen to you. But look to your compass. It says search here for the source of crying. So by looking at the compass, we've been clued in that somebody's crying here. Oh, and right as we step over this letter, you can see it starts flashing blue. We're going to take the item. Then we're going to read it. Sir Hobart, I've heard many coming through the north that undead attacks upon merchant caravans have increased of late. Have your patrols noted any unusual behavior near Solace Bridge? I speak out of concern for my wife and child, whom I would not have put in harm's way. From Johan. By following the compass, we went upstairs and we see a child. Now it tells you to double click the child to talk to her. Always a good idea to put away your weapons when you're trying to talk to somebody. You'll notice that the new mission, Speak with a Frightened Child, has gone away. And Charlotte Gray says, oh no, oh goodness, our house. Help, I'm Charlotte Gray. Who are you? Now you can lie. Wouldn't advise it because there's penalties later. So I will tell her my name here. And then you got to decide if you're going to help Charlotte or no. She wants you to help find her parents. being the chivalrous soul that I am, I will, of course, help the young lady find her parents. So now we've got to rescue Charlotte.
We have our first major quest. Oh, can I get you to close your inventory for a second? And then reopen it. So in our gear box, or in our inventory, can you get the gear box for a second? We just want to make sure that it says show quest item. There we go.
Yeah, and your default will say that. Because I'm not a new player, I've already switched it to where I don't have to look at those when I don't want, so that's a good catch by Indira. Thanks for straightening that out.
Okay, so notice that there are things that are called quest items, which are in yellow. So now, if we get ahead of Charlotte or we lose Charlotte for some reason, we can summon Charlotte back to us. And quest items are useful. It's useful to identify your quest items because sometimes you need to turn them over to people you talk to. Sometimes you can use them over and over again. And the red things that are in your inventory, or pink, whatever that is, those are things that that cannot leave your inventory. They stay there all the time. So, anyways, just want to point that out.
And then one of the things I'd like to point out is I've noticed that we picked up a pair of leather gloves. As you're adventuring, especially early on until you get some more established gear, you always need to keep an eye out and see if what you picked up from some mob that you've killed or from some corpse that has already been deleted, shall say, to see if it's better than what you've got, because you're constantly going to be wanting to upgrade your armor and weapons until you become more and more competitive. You can see that the leather gloves we picked up are crap, and I did this by hitting the Alt button, and that'll give me a comparison of the new item versus the item that I'm wearing. And you can see the one that I'm currently using is a little bit better. It's a +2 cloth glove crafted by Arabella that has some focus and combat dodge on it. So, moving on. Go ahead, Indira.
Okay. So we're just going to follow the road now, and we're on an adventure. So as we are following the road, we'll go through this puddle. What are the houses first? I'm also in a new character, but if you'll notice, if you look up at the top in the middle again, you'll see it tells underneath the compass, it tells you where we are, the year and the date, and it also says what whereabouts we are on the map, the Battle of Solace Bridge. And it also tells you the level of the adventuring area that you're in. This color means this is something you should be able to do relatively easier. Yellow means it's a little bit harder. Orange means you may have trouble to get through. And red means you probably shouldn't be there. And underneath that, it also tells you what mode you're in. So right now we're in solo. Because you can party up with your friends in this game and go out together and hunt together and adventure together. But right now we're in a solo mode, which means only you can be in this mode all by yourself, and you have to get through it on your own.
Well, except I've got Charlotte with me.
Well, you have Charlotte. Yes, some mobs or some of these people do actually help you fight. All right, so we're just going to look around now. That's all we can do is look around, put our cursor over top of things, see if we can interact with them. Oh, we just got 500 arrows? Wow. Now, let's see. We have a wishing well.
Oh, we got a zombie attacked us too.
Got a zombie attack.
Yep, it's all better now.
All right, now this would be probably a good time.
I didn't need water. What am I doing getting water?
I do not know. But
You
it's
said
interesting
click
to know that you can get water. So let's take a look at this other building.
Though engulfed in flames, searching the building might yield useful results. Oh, and look, we've got a new mission. Investigate a tavern. And up on the compass, we've also got a new handwritten love letter. So those three things combine to immediately tell us that we're looking for a handwritten love letter in the tavern. And then further down the road, we're going to approach the gate. You can review your current tasks or archive knowledge by using the J key. That's what we spoke about earlier as far as the journal. These are the things we're doing right now. The little red tab takes you back to the front. The knowledge journal is the things you've already accomplished. So if you need to go back and reference, hey, did I do that or not? You can just go into your knowledge section and it gives you a reminder of things you've already completed. Into the tavern we go. Take care of an awoken zombie so Charlotte doesn't get hurt. I like Gust. It's fun.
Yes. Do please notice that when you are in combat, your combat bar comes up, and by either using the numbers for it, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your keyboard, for those that like to do that, it will action on one of those things, and or you can point and click, which is what I do.
All right, we found the handwritten love letter. My dearest Regina, duties kept us apart for too long. Heavy with dread. I don't know if this letter will reach you. Well, we're going to take the letter. Hopefully it'll reach her. All right, we're done investigating the tavern. You notice that it turned green, which means it's finished. We're back to only having to rescue Charlotte and escape the Battle of Solace Bridge. Now you can, if you like. This is an open world game. You can continue to go on and look about as much as you like. Turn over every rock, open every door, kick every crate. Gather up everything you can if you want. Me, I'm not inclined, so we're going to head on down the road.
All right, we're going to back up just a little bit because we did notice something as we were running past, and it's the training area, which sort of feeds into the things that we were talking about before and how important your skills are. Notice on the right-hand side of your screen where Kaizen has his map that there are a number of glyphs there now. So these glyphs are telling you that you're training up those skills as you're running around. And if we could bring up the K button, and let's go to, let's go to ranged in the combat section of your. Yep. So you'll notice that in order to advance through your skills, it tells you what the prerequisites are for each one. So in the bottom it says, and I'm sorry, I can't read that because on my screen.
It says piercing shot. An aim shot must be 40 before you can open up the piercing shot. So in order to add piercing shot to your repertoire, you're going to have to get aim shot from 20 to 40. Now up here, ranged combat is 35, and you'll notice your first innate skill, ammo scavenger, can already be opened because it's turned gray rather than the red that you see at the bottom of piercing shot. So we'll have to go to an adventuring trainer to learn that skill, but why don't we go ahead and jump the aim shot up to 40. Doesn't take but a moment. And while we're at it, we'll click some of these skills and get those up. If you'll look to the right while we're doing this, you'll notice that all of those glyphs are just going mad. Low level, the skills are pretty easy to get up, and it's just a little matter of clicking, clicking, clicking. And you'll be a lot more likely to succeed. Now, when you logged in, if you're doing this in June, you got an obsidian potion of guidance that you could have drank.
Oh, which reminds me, yes, you should do that.
But we're not gonna.
Okay.
I'm saving mine. You can drink yours. Because I'm stingy. I'm notoriously frugal.
Yeah, I guess there's two ways of looking at it, which is probably good why we don't agree. I did take mine only because in the beginning there are an awful lot of things to accomplish, and when you click on that reward that they give you to log in, you find it by In the top right-hand corner of your screen, there's a little chest you'll see there, and there's a rewards chest. And it gives you 250,000 XP right off the bat. Plus, it gives you the Obsidian Potion of Guidance. So, standing here in front of a practice target, and doing this is going to take you a really long time. What you can do is drink that Obsidian Potion, because you can replace that and buy one later, another one if you like. And you will advance 3 times as fast as what we're doing right now. Which kind of becomes important only because there are some early quests that you can do in the beginning of the game that will get you better armor and better weaponry without having to pay for them.
All right, well, we've done this long enough where you get the idea. One thing that I did want to point out is while you're doing this, you're going to have that blue bar underneath your health bar. Right up here where it says I've got 23 out of 220 focus left. When you run out of focus, you'll notice these things grayed out repeatedly as I keep clicking on them, because you don't have any focus, and they each cost focus points. Like this one right here, Purify, costs 7 focus. Aim Shot is 12 because it's been used. Now it's 23 and I don't have enough to use it. Now it's 12 and I do. So you have to keep an eye on your focus and make sure that you manage that as part of this game as well. You ready to head on down the road, Indira?
No, actually. We're going to press the Y button. We're going to come out of combat and press the Y button. And what you'll notice is we start with 3 different combat decks. So what we want to do is we want to be able to switch between ranged and blades while we're out fighting. We're not going to deal with magic yet, but you'll notice that as soon as Kaizen hit Alt, down in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that you now have an option. If you click on it, you can switch between blades. Let's click on that. And ranged. So now, each of these decks, as you saw earlier, you can actually modify them, and we're going to get you to get out of combat right now, because you can't modify them while you're in combat. Kind of getting ahead of where we need to be. Yeah. Okay, so now you'll see your blades, and we're going to click on the little modify button beside the blades, and where your decks are listed. Yeah, modify deck. Yeah. Okay. So you'll notice at the bottom of this deck, you have some options to change things. And we're going to get into deck building more in depth in a little bit later. But what you'll notice right now is there's no equipment to it. So what Kaizen did was he was moving that high veiled Avenger sword, which you get automatically when you start the game. He was moving it into a combat slot. And now we need to click on Use Current Equipment to get it to keep that choice, so that when we flip between blades or ranged and blades, you're actually going to get a weapon up. That was all I wanted to point out.
All right. And then if you're in the blades mode, you can do the same kind of practice on the dummy as you did with the archery target.
You'll see now you've got things training on the right-hand side. You'll see them pop in and out. They're training up a lot of... So it's kind of a good idea to try and skill up as quickly as you can while you're adventuring. Now I notice as I look around on the ground here, there's a bunch of quivers. So if we actually pick one up, if we take item and then press I for inventory, you'll see that in your inventory now you have quivers of arrows. A little bit lower. If you right click on that now, you can use the item and watch your arrows change. And it adds a few more arrows to you.
That's good to know.
There's a few things in this game like that, where you pick up the item, you don't really know what you're supposed to do with it, but if you right-click on it, it'll give you some options.
Empty.
Because at this point in the game, you don't have very much gold to buy anything.
You hit your C button, it'll tell you how much gold you have, which in my case is 35. Not impressive. All right, what's next, boss?
We're just going to move along down the road now. We've learned an awful lot. Let's go have some fun with what we've learned. So the game is completely visual, so you really have to look around and put your cursor over things to see if you can interact with them. If your cursor doesn't change colors, you can't interact with them.
Let's stop a moment and talk about view, because it's dawned on me that I've defaulted to my natural preference, which is as far away as I can get. Because I'm an old UO player, I like that third-person view, looking down on things. You can, though, and it's the default, is you're up pretty close. You can see your character, but it's kind of right there. You'll see that zombie right there. You can also, if you hit the V as in Victor button, you can take a little more of a side view so you don't get your person in the way of the thing you're fighting. And then the third option, if you're used to your first-person shooters and you want to go first-person view.
And how did you do that?
With the V as in Victor button again. You've got three options when you press it. Oh, look, Charlotte's getting involved. Punch him, Charlotte. Hit him harder.
Yeah, I'm like you. Unfortunately, I get motion sickness when I play in first person view, so I don't play in that. Sometimes that happens. Well, I'm finding it happens more often to us older gamers. Quite a number of people who I spoke with who are a bit older, and by older I mean, the 40-somebodies. Maybe not so necessarily the 30-somethings, but us 40 and 50-somebodies sometimes get a little bit motion sick.
And I've noticed that I picked up a heavy round shield, and I'm taking a look to compare it to the one I've got, and pretty much the same thing. So it boils down to, how do you like to look? Do you want the triangle or do you want the heavy round? There's virtually no difference between these two items, so I'll just leave the one I've got. Moving down the road. Woohoo! 12 gold. I'm getting rich. You're going to need a key.
I really think the graphics in this game are beautiful. Stop and look around. Yes! Another item that's flashing.
And we've got a skeleton that wants to run away. I'm going to switch back over to my archery build. Uh-oh. I've got no bow. We didn't do that for the... There we go. Now that skeleton's in trouble. And as soon as I get done with the skeleton, we'll go save that build so it'll happen the next time for us.
Yeah.
Nice job, Charlotte. Sorry to leave you hanging. All right, there's a shoddy short bow there. Let's do a comparison. Yeah, pretty much the same. So I'm going to hop out of combat, open that Y button back up, which is where your combat decks go. And if you lose track of that or forget the letter that you need, go hit your window selector, go to combat decks, and it reminds you there's the Y. Right now, we're going to go to modified decks on ranged, and the same thing. We're going to use the current equipment. So now the next time I switch back and forth from range to blades, I'll have the right weapon, so I don't feel silly, staring at that skeleton in my archery gear with no bow. All right, on to the blue body. There's Quincy's broken sword. and the Solace Bridge gate key in a letter from Emily to Quincy. We finished the mission. Go ahead.
Notice that it's in red, and the two things you picked up are in yellow, so they're quest items that will be used for your questing. And we should probably read the letter.
Dear Quincy, my love.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Hope you're able to take leave off your duty soon. How many people do they need watching that silly bridge anyway? Nothing ever happens there. I'm staying in Soul Town this month. There's a clue for you. She's in Soul Town while waiting for Uncle Ord's caravan from Graff Island. Do come see me, won't you? It's not that far. Surely they can understand if you take a day or 3 off from the watch. I miss you horribly, and come back to me soon. Hugs and kisses, Emily.
Oh dear. So it looks like Quincy is dead? Or it was a courier delivering mail.
Now we've got the glowing blue indicator right here ahead. Someone you may wish to speak to. Throughout your travels, you may see people waving to get your attention, sometimes marked on your compass. And the keyholes on the compass and get to the bridge. So those are the blue items. Those are the ones you want to pay attention to on your compass. We ready for the keyhole?
Excuse me.
Are we ready for the keyhole?
We're ready.
All right. So now it's time to open the gate. You'll see that some of these quests are ridiculously simple as you start out, but you just never know what experience somebody has. See how that guy's waving his hands? We'll get a little closer. See the little sparkles on the hands? That's your clue that you need to talk to somebody. So we're talking to Edvard the Wanderer, and he's talking to Charlotte. And asking how she's been. It's scared, yada yada. And then Edvard wants to know if you want to cross the bridge or not yet. Are we ready to cross the bridge?
We most certainly are.
Time to rock and roll.
Oh, we're escorting Edvard. It says don't let him get too far away. Oh, looks like we have to fight our way across.
Looting as we go, because that's what I do.
Yeah, it's really important. And not only for things you can use, but what you'll find is you can sell some of your looted items and earn more gold. So that you can actually buy things from vendors that you encounter along the way.
Charlotte was standing on that corpse. Hey, we can let Edvard do the work.
Yeah, Edvard's fighting.
Guess we might as well help.
So notice as you're fighting, there's a constant, you can switch between your blades and your ranged weaponry to skill things up as you're going along. Wow, lots of zombies.
Yeah, but look at my ranged fly. It's up to like 59 now. I'm rocking.
You are. I've got blades on my character.
Hey, we made it to safety. Put your weapon away. Yeah, they don't like it when you attack the NPCs. I don't know why. 14,000 experience. And we got a teleport to friend skull roll, a recall scroll from Edvard. Generous fella. And now you can continue. Let's see if Edvard help is going to be one of your key words in this game. Anytime you're talking to an NPC, always ask them help. You can do that by clicking on the word below, or you can type it.
It's also a good thing to get the name of everyone that you're seeing.
All right, looks like we're done with Edvard. The boat is flashing blue, so we have accomplished escaping the Battle of Solace Bridge. Now we got to go talk to Charlotte's mother. That one kind of snuck in there, and we got to share Quincy's fate. We know what happened to Quincy because we found the letter to Emily on his body, so that's not going to be a pleasant conversation. Ready to hit the boat?
I'm actually not. I'm just still getting out the gate here.
All right.
So
Now, what she's speaking of is her character, Ching Shi Gu, is located also in the Battle of Outskirts. We could not find each other because it was solo, so we had to do this independently. Her step of progress is kind of at the gate, so it won't be long. She'll be along. She's just got to kill a few zombies and such. So while she does that, I'm going to go explore.
I didn't actually. How do I get out? I've forgotten. I'm standing in front of a burning gate. What did you do?
I clicked on the body in front of it and it had a key in it.
Ah, yeah. I didn't see a body. And you're running around exploring right now, or are you? Oh, I see. I'm catching up.
Huh, what do we got over here?
Oh, you can't get out of here anyway. Are you squirreling?
A little bit. Are you ready to go?
Yes, we're ready to go. We should not squirrel. One of the things you find in this game is if you get ahead of or outside of some of the quests you're doing, it can be a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm coming.
The quests in here, though very well structured, sometimes can be a little bit buggy or a little bit glitched. So we will give you links later on in how to get to the forums and those types of things.
Quick pro tip for you before we hit the bridge and go into the big bad world is dash. I like to take dash on every new character I play with, and I've played with a few of them. And I will put it in number 0. That way I know it's there. But dash helps you run faster, which means that it won't take you as long to get places you want to go. There's other items and things that you can do to make yourself faster, but that's one you can do right out of the gate, is put that dash handy where you can use it when you're not fighting and run faster.
There are a couple things I like to put on my bar as a new player in the beginning. Is there are a couple of what we call buffs. Air's Embrace is one. Strength of Earth is another one, which you'll find in your magic trees. And you can put them on your utility bar, and while you're waiting for things, you can just keep repeatedly clicking them so that they skill up.
All right, I am zoning.
And again, we're doing this for the player who's like me, who's not intuitively a gamer in these types of games. So for those of you that are, just bear with us as we do the saga of these two characters over the next few weeks. It will speed up a little bit. So we're in a new place.
We are indeed, and I see my new friend, Ching Shi Gu, right there in front of me.
Yes, there you are. Hello.
And we've been partied the entire time. And I'm going to take Ching Shu's advice and add some of those buffing items. And you can find them anytime you like just by kind of perusing through. I know I'm going to want Strength of Earth. light's already there. They kind of default that for you. I know I'm going to want air embrace. And that way you can load it. Now also I've got that air embrace on the combat bar, but you can do these before you go in a fight, so it'll give you a little bit better stats and a little bit better chance of survival. Oh, an ignite weapon, that's on here already? Nope, that's going on. I like ignite weapon. I'm even going to put it on both bars. Now for me, I like to have all of my combat stuff on the left, and I like to have all of my buff and heal and make me better stuff on the right. And then the aforementioned dash, put that in a 0 spot. Now as you get a little bigger, I eventually replace that with a heal for other players called Healing Blast.
Well, we'll try and keep things simple so people that don't get too confused at this particular point in the game.
All right. I shut up now. Let's go.
We've thrown an awful lot at people. Let's just go and have a little bit of fun and follow our quests.
All right, lead on, boss.
Oh, wait. Have you spoken to this guard?
You're not the boss. Now you're the boss.
Did you speak to this guard?
Uh-huh, sure did.
Oh, you did already?
Yep, and I got a leather helm from him, which might be an upgrade.
And did you ask him about Captain Kinsey? Or you've already done? Oh, I'm a little bit behind you here.
I just now asked about Kinsey. I've been given a description of the fellow. Now I've got to go. He doesn't need any other help.
Okay then. So now we can say goodbye. Boy, it would sure be nice to be able to see in the dark.
Well, you should try your light spell. It's on your default bar.
I have just done
that. Oh, this leather helm is better because I'm not wearing one.
Oh, then I'm going to put mine on too then.
Looks stupid, feels great. I guess is the best way to put that.
Is it in red? Oh, no, it's not in red. So it's an item that we can trade or sell later on. And bring up the Y and click on range. Modify deck and use current equipment. Provided I'm not holding on. Oh, I can't do that. Do blades first.
Now you'll notice when I do the same thing she's describing, which is opening those up and hitting use current equipment. Now that leather helm is both on my blade bar and my ranged bar. So I'll be wearing the helmet no matter which deck I'm in. As evidenced such.
Oh crap, I just wrecked my... I thought I'd switched to ranged, but I hadn't. So I need to switch to ranged so that I don't put my blade on my ranged deck, which I just have. Rats. The other thing that I don't think we've shown yet is locking equipment.
I don't think we have either, but currently we're running with a bunch of red stuff. What red means is no trade, no value, which means you cannot put it anywhere but your person or the bank. So with the leather helm, on the other hand, that one is freebie. We don't want to lose it, so we're going to lock it to the inventory, which means you cannot accidentally sell it or trade it unless you deliberately unlock it again, or accidentally unlock it again, because that's happened.
Yes, that will become a little more clear as we progress in the game, the difference between locking things to your inventory and not locking. We're going up the hill, so we're looking to...
Oh, we are not the only new people here. We got a fellow named Randall Alfar just started the game.
Ah, yes. Oh, and there's a zombie. We'll let Randall have that one.
I'll help him kill it.
There's another guard up here to talk to.
Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't notice, up here in the top middle, we are currently in the Solace Bridge Outskirts. It's a green adventuring area, which means we should be able to handle it.
So we'll stop and talk to this guard. We'll ask who his name is. I'll be harping on that a lot to make sure that you get the names of the people you talk to, because sometimes later on they'll be part of a quest, and then you'll know that you've talked to them before and you'll know where to find them.
I've just learned that Captain Kinsey's a girl.
Ah, that's good to know. So I'm also bringing up my map so I can see whereabouts we're headed. I like to kind of have an idea of where we're. Plus, on this map, it will sometimes give you can point to hover your cursor over things that will tell you what they are, so that makes it a little bit easier to complete your quest.
Got another new player. She talked about your messages that will pop up. Got one saying, I had problems with quest trade window not popping up to give quest items. Relog out and in did the trick for that. So you've got another new player that's trying to let you know what he's run into and how to fix it. So keep that in mind. Check those chat bars. Oh, look, there's Solo Private Preston. All he did was move. We don't want to talk to him
again. Nope. Sorry, I was trying to find what you were seeing in the chat window. I didn't have that. Now, we're going to go straight past Mr. Resource Guy, make your way past the cotton bush and the tree.
Man.
We're going to follow this in order, because new players wouldn't have known about that. So, we're looking for Captain Kinsey. I see a soldier.
All right.
I'm thinking that Captain Kinsey is going to be in a spot that looks like a command center or something.
And it looks like, Indira, that our hour is up.
Oh, it is? Wow, that went fast.
And time flies when you're having fun.
It's telling your mom these are cowboy
perfect.
cookies.
So we finished the first part of our journey, which was to get ourselves out of Solace Bridge, which we did.
Yep, we did accomplish that. We'll be back next Sunday. We're going to do an ongoing series while helping you learn the game, watching the exploits of Ramont and Qingxi. That is the plan, yeah?
Yes. I think we should think about some giveaways, too.
I think it's a fine idea. Hopefully next week we'll have some folks actually watching instead of just watching this video after the fact.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope it's. I know there's lots of these videos that have been done already. We just decided to do this because it's updated and they've changed the beginning of the game substantially. And we're hoping to really encourage some more new people to join Shroud of Avatar.
So on that note, we shall see you next Sunday right here in this same spot. I don't plan to use this one in the meantime. That would taint the exercise.
Same bat time, same bat place.
See you next week, folks.